Ladies and gentlemen, the show is about to begin. The Irish Spaghetti Podcast. Like and subscribe. Please enjoy the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Irish Spaghetti Podcast. We're your hosts, Billy G, Nicky P. Nick, how are you?
Never better in all my days.
You know what? We're gonna have to mix that up. We got a new family member we're gonna bring in a little later.
Wait, no.
Yeah.
We lost one, gained one.
Yeah.
You want to tell the story?
Sure. All right. Johnny Tsunami's a maniac, man. I don't know where he is right now.
Love you, brother. I hope you're doing good, by the way. So our boy Johnny Tsunami, his dad got sick. He has liver cancer, unfortunately. He had to basically flee town overnight.
He's a madman.
Yeah, as you could see behind us, the TV is no longer with us. We're going to replace it with this one. We haven't had time to set everything up, but he had to basically sell the TV to get money to go back out to see his dad. Yeah. So all the best, Johnny. Keep him in your thoughts and prayers, please.
Does he have an SUV? How do you get the TV in
He has
there?
the Range Rover, but he took it down and then he just went straight to the pawn shop and just liquidated it.
Duct taped it to the top.
Yeah, basically.
Out,
so for a little while, we're going to be riding dirty, but we want to put the content out anyways. So we hope you enjoy.
I didn't get to tell him goodbye, Johnny. Goodbye. Good luck. I'm sorry, man. I went through that same shit last year. It's a bummer.
Yeah,
dude,
he'll be back, man. He'll be all right.
Yeah.
It is what it is. So we met a gentleman at our new job. His name is Michael Pisani. He has a lot of background in this type of work. Yeah. He's going to be on the show as a regular. You're going to see him today. Also, sorry we haven't been putting out any new content. It's been busy as fuck.
Yeah. You know what? He has the star, the shine in his eye. You know how you can tell people
twinkle.
that had the twinkle. Yeah. He has the twinkle in his eye, man. He loves film. He loves the same shit we love, you know? And
man.
There's a reason why we would talk so much and we needed to be on camera. Like I needed to. Like I needed a camera.
You need an outlet, man. Yeah, 100%.
Because it just comes pouring out. Like I remember the Michael Jackson American Dream movie, the made-for-TV movie. I remember the one like something that resonated me with. Like I always had a bunch of shit to say that I wanted to say, you know. And Michael Jackson, I mean, obviously I'm not as talented as Mr. Jackson, but he is, you know. But he told his mom, he goes, I just have this music and it's pouring out of me. And
why do you sound like Mel Gibson's foreign wife? Mel.
And how could you hit a woman? How could you hit baby with baby in her arms? Dude, I swear to God, that idiot had everything written down, man. You couldn't improvise with Mel. He was raging. You could pretty much say whatever and it would have been fine. And of course she goes off script. What an idiot.
That whole thing was a shit show.
Yeah. I'm so glad she lost.
Me too, man. That was a win for like all of mankind.
For men,
yes,
yeah, exactly.
One giant
and it's
leap.
funny. It's funny because like I look at Mel like the man, like Braveheart.
Dude, he was one of the
Patriot,
greatest actors that ever lived, and one of the most talented directors. Yes.
Yeah.
They took him from us when he was like at his peak, like he was fully developed, like he had all of his skills.
So much more to
offer, man. Yeah,
so much more to give, dude. I mean, even his earlier movies like Lethal Weapon and Bird on a Wire, dude, the dude had it. Mad Max. And it's funny, man. It's like I swear to God, like I'll hear rappers say shit about white people, and dude, I could be honest with you, I could not care less. I will listen to a song about them killing.
Well, you and I are the same, where it's like we separate the person from the art,
the artist from the art, dude.
Yes,
because it's like you know what, people are gonna have opinions that you may even find uncomfortable, but it's like your opinion, man. You know what I mean?
Like, do I support pissing on people? No. Do I support R. Kelly's music?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's good.
He had 34 versions of the coming out of the closet. It was all good. It was hilarious. Dude, it was hilarious. When the one I think was like number 17 and the midget walks out. It was it was a midget.
Dude, I forgot about that.
Fades away. It's hilarious, dude. He's funny, you know? He had Ron Isley on one of them too.
Who's Ron Isley?
The Isley brothers.
Not familiar.
It's Motown, you know, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, Ron Isley comes out, and you got a 60-something-year-old Ron Isley comes out. He's like, what the hell is going on? Just still murdering it. Like, just still murdering it. Why are you that
good at that?
I don't know, dude, because I sung that song a million. Isley comes out and he has a cane and there's like a ruby on the end of his cane. He's like talking shit to R. Kelly and stuff, you know? By the way, dude, that entire music is R. Kelly banging people's wives.
Are you serious?
Listen.
So there's like a trail of breadcrumbs as to who he really was, just
yes.
throughout all of his songs,
dude. He was amazing.
Then he started putting it on his music videos too. He started like putting weird shit. Yeah.
He dude, like I'm telling you right now, it started off as about a man hiding in a closet because he was cheating with a wife.
Right.
It ended like we were just talking about, like midgets and guns and crazy
and
things.
Piss.
Yeah, just piss everywhere.
Just fireman's hose.
The carpet is soaked. Like when you just get your carpets clean and you walk in and you're like, oh, okay. You know, you like feel that dampness on the floor. It was so bad, but I mean, there you go, man. It's like some people can't handle power, and I'm gonna say I would say
most people can't handle power.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Absolutely, you know.
I think there's been like 3 leaders in all of world history that have been
really had
like good leaders,
like grounded and had a grip on it.
I don't know if it was Marcus Aurelius. It was one of the Caesars, and he used to like sleep in the servants' quarters.
Yeah.
That's how you know you have a good leader.
Absolutely. He also hired somebody to follow him around, whispering in his ear, "You're only a man."
That's what's up, man.
Come
Hell
on,
yeah!
man. You want to talk about
genius.
A man for the people? Yeah. Like, come on, you know.
He has the reverse of a hype guy. Like he's like feeling himself, and the dude walks. He's like, "Remember, you're a piece of shit."
Exactly. Hey, whoa, what are you? They're not praying to you, buddy. And you're like,
a terrible father.
Gotcha. Yeah.
He just starts ad-libbing. He's like, pump the brakes.
That'd be funny. The reverse hype, man. That'd be hilarious.
Opposite hype, man.
like as if like Flavor Flav went out on stage like, y'all motherfucking piece of shit, put your hands down. Put your hands down. What is going on with it?
Reverse hype guy.
Yes, that'd be hilarious.
I want to create a bit about that. We should do a character, the reverse hype guy, dude.
You know what's funny, man? Like, we pop up like even Pisani had one too. It's like you have these ideas in your head and you just think like that'd be funny, right. And then you want to start getting it. I wrote up a pretty good script for the Bud Light, but it's like, dude, honestly, I don't even want to say Bud Light anymore. I didn't want to say that. I don't even want to say that.
We're never talking about that shit again,
dude. I erased it.
There's 900,000 channels just fucking beating that dead horse.
Still,
it's disgusting. Dude, we get it. We know what happened.
And right, you said 900,000, right?
Yeah.
The other 100,000 are talking about Target. I'm stupid.
It's true.
Okay, you know what I mean. It's okay. Like it's working.
But it comes off as such a cheap trick just for clicks. It's like if you have talent, just be fucking entertaining. It'll come together.
Dude, honestly, I'd say like the real good channels have left on like Kumia talked about it like once.
Do you remember when we were talking about at the beginning of this? Because like all that social stuff was like a lot like more prevalent, if you will. Like how those channels are gonna die off because when people don't care about that stuff anymore, they have nothing else to go to.
Absolutely.
And like we're gonna do our thing, and our thing is timeless because it's just entertainment and comedy more or less.
Dude,
dude, it's starting to happen. People are starting to get sick with all the fucking outrage and all the nonsense. They're not getting as many views. Like that culture is dying.
Yeah.
And when it dies, all those channels go with them.
Well,
so slow and steady wins the race.
Yeah, it sure does. It's like there was so much emotion put into these last 2 elections. Like people like there was this big line drawn in the sand, and you don't know. And people have this new feeling like I'm mad. I'm mad. Right. So they need something to kind of like almost like filter it and
but we're out of rage. Also, like everything is kind of like fashion. So that was hot for a while. Now we're sick of it because it's trite and cliche.
Rage.
No one gives a shit.
Hot.
Yeah. So you're always looking for something novel and original, and this stuff is becoming mainstream and just cliche as fuck.
Let's go back to the 90s where being happy was cool again.
Remember that? Or you remember when being cool was cool?
Dude.
Instead of being a fucking guy with no testosterone and a cardigan sweater and flip-flops.
Absolutely.
With a girlfriend who cheats on you with all your friends.
I got a story about that.
Do you? Yes. All right.
No, yes, but wait, let me tell you one more thing. Let me tell you one more thing. You know when I knew the turning point for like when everything was all grim and stuff? Commercials.
Really? Wait, what do you mean?
I remember it was like a big thing in our house. So like we would watch the Super Bowl. Like Super Bowl was a big deal, but then so was the commercials.
Right.
And
the commercials were the best part.
Exactly.
You would
remember,
gather
like,
around
the Mountain
with snacks.
Dew guys that were doing the rams and hanging around.
Budweiser frogs, all that nonsense,
and
dude,
ladies' night, and it was hilarious. And you'd watch it, and you'd be cracking up and stuff like that. And then, like, I remember, like, a couple Super Bowls, maybe even, like, 10. Like, we're going back, right?
Right.
Like, 10 Super Bowls, it was just telling everybody what a piece of shit they were. And, like, everything was mad and it was dark and it was grim. And now the movies that are coming out, like Christopher Nolan's Batman, like, changed it all. Like, I liked adult-themed superhero stuff because it is for us, you know what I mean? But it's like, it doesn't mean it needs to be miserable.
It ended up being commercials ended up being like, remember Talladega Nights where he's like, if you don't chew Big Red, fuck you.
Yeah. You know what?
That's what everything is now. If you don't like trannies, fuck you.
Yeah. Christopher Nolan's Batman and George Clooney's Batman, if you could stay right in the middle, It'd be a good mix.
A nice balance.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, it's still fun. It's still a man dressed up as a big bat. Like, we can have fun with it.
It still blows my mind. Like, so you remember, like, we were talking about a few episodes back in the past, like old jacked versus new jacked.
Yeah.
And how like all you had to do was like wear like a tank top and you were considered a tough guy.
Your pants
and they had
would
like
come
no
up the
muscle
hair.
definition.
Yeah,
So think
yeah.
about like Michael Keaton's Batman versus like our Batman. Yeah.
When
Now
they
they're like
had
they
to
look like
sew abs
superheroes.
to it. Yeah.
It was just regular ass Michael Keaton beating the shit out of people. Dude, get out of here.
Dude, you know who like the
I love
biggest
Keaton,
offender of that is?
No.
Is Bruce Willis. Bruce Willis had a dad body since he was 19, and he was in there kicking the shit out of
but
like high class terrorists.
He was
and
like
stuff.
toned though. Like he wasn't like a scrawny little dude.
You know who's actually like always been in shape? Like obviously not anymore, but damn, you get old, right?
Who?
Robert De Niro was a monster.
No, he
dude.
was not.
Homeboy, yes, he was. Let me tell you something. As Travis Bickle,
Nope.
Listen,
Travis Bickle
and Taxi Driver and Cape.
He was jacked.
Yes, and Cape
No,
Fear.
no.
He was a monster in
Was he
both
really?
of those. Yes.
I gotta go back and
Dude,
look.
he literally.
Dude, is there a shirtless pic? Like, can I see him
Let me
like
see if Mr.
flexing?
Let
Basically,
me see if Mr. Skin
No,
got
do you
him.
know who surprisingly was in crazy shape?
Who?
Jeff Goldblum.
Oh yeah,
Dude, Jeff Goldblum's a monster.
Dude, The Fly, and he was like doing
Which
the sit-ups.
also, dude, it makes you respect him more because you know he just does that for his own personal fitness. He never portrays himself like that in movies. He always portrays himself as like smart and intelligent, not like jacked and.
I'm on my way back there, but I could always appreciate a person that like takes care of themselves,
100%.
eats healthy, to eat healthy.
Dude, the
and works
discipline
out.
alone
Yes.
is respectable.
Yes, absolutely, man. You even if you're not like hip to it, you have prejudices in these life and.
Oh
Damn.
shit!
Come on,
Oh my
man.
god! Yes.
Pisani, can you hold that up like in front of
Yeah,
the
just-
camera? Okay, here you go. Here we go.
Get closer,
Bam,
get
baby.
closer, get closer, get closer,
You're
get
Robert
closer.
De
Get
Niro.
Boom!
Monster,
Oh,
dude.
abs all day.
Boom.
He looked great.
He's a monster.
And you know,
dude.
back then he earned that shit because they weren't all just doing roids and yeah, man, yeah,
bro. Exactly. Yeah, dude. Homeboy took care of
Wow.
himself, man.
Can you do
Yeah.
a De Niro? Can you do his face?
Well, all right.
Like, how do you do it?
Ever
How do you
since
fucking- I think you could do a good De Niro. No, no.
what was that movie? Where's it? Was it Just Friends?
Every one of his movies.
No, but
What are you talking-
Paul Rudd did the De
Oh
Niro
no!
face.
Shit. Yes. That
and
was
it went
great.
like, 'cause
Knocked
before-
up.
Yes, exactly. Everybody before that was just doing the. You talking to me?
When they
You
were at
talking to me?
breakfast. Yeah, man.
And then Paul Rudd comes out. He's like,
He did it well.
it was beautiful. It was perfect. He transformed his face into Robert De Niro in 2 seconds. But it's funny because like nobody ever thought to just try to do that like
The
upside
lips down.
You know what I mean? That's
his
it.
eyes match his lips.
Yeah.
Like his eyes frown down also. Yeah, the crease.
He's a mad guy. You know that?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a-
Well, he's also a frothing at the mouth liberal nut job.
I think, yep. Fuck Trump.
Yeah.
That was, dude. He won so many awards in his life that when they gave him another one, he's like, "Fuck Trump." That
That's
was
all he could say.
Thank you, Robert De Niro.
So what do we have on the docket?
All right. So let's jump into this, man.
Guys, we don't have too much time today, so we're gonna move through this, but it's gonna be a fun, nice pace.
Yeah. All right. And the stories are all pretty chill too. So dig this, right? The first one I want to get to, Nick was talking earlier about how like dudes walking around sandals and their girlfriends allowed to cheat and stuff like that. Adam 22.
So I'm new to whoever the fuck Adam 22 is. Set me up, set them up.
All right, I'm plugged into the hip hop community, and the hip hop community is
You're
plugged
gangster.
and is plugged into his
gangster.
wife.
That's gonna make a lot of sense in a minute
Let me
here.
get the story. Okay, so anyways, Adam 22, he runs the No Jumper podcast. There's actually a couple like good shows on there too, like the Sharp Tank. I like that dude for some reason. I don't know. I just get a kick out of it. But Adam 22, he talks to ball players, he talks to rappers. He's like really good with that whole world. You know?
Right.
They're your
So that's
urban
his niche.
centric. Yeah, exactly. All right. So he's really well known in that world. Well, him and his old lady, he's hung like a horse, and him and his old lady do a Plug Talk, which is a porno podcast where him and his wife, they interview a porn star and then they both bang her out, and then there you go. You know what I mean?
Do they keep the interview going while they're fucking?
Yeah, they start talking and
Or he's
stuff.
like, so where'd you graduate college?
Yeah,
She's like sucking
exactly.
his dick, she's trying to answer around the blowjob.
Yeah, and he's like, by the way, I found it really inspiring the way that your daughter came out of that coma and you fought for MS.
She's like, he's like bachelor's or PhD. She's like,
Yeah, exactly. So when your daughter was diagnosed with stage 4,
just gargling.
diagnosed with stage 4, and he finishes, you're like, whoa, you know. But
It's a nice family friendly episode we're doing.
yeah, like listen, that's a lifestyle that's not for everybody.
It's not?
I just think no, absolutely, but okay, no, but
He had to delineate that.
But dig this, right? It's different when it's going that way compared to the other way.
What you mean, like super Mormon? Or
No, I mean like when
What do you mean?
if a wife brings home a woman for a girl,
Okay.
it's almost, for some reason, it's almost socially acceptable. It depends on your stance on marriage.
Yes, it is. The double standard.
Exactly.
100%.
But it is different. I can't tell you why. I can't tell you why you root for your son to lose his virginity and your daughter, you don't ever want her coming out.
Right.
You can't. I don't know why it's different.
It's built into
different.
nature. We look at women as like virtuous, and men are basically pigs, more or less.
So you know, and it's so special. And I guess there's ego there, like whatever you want to throw in it. So Adam 22 comes out and he says that his wife that afternoon is filming with the first male partner. It was Jason Love.
Who's Jason Love?
This
That's who.
is Jason Love.
Oh my God.
Dude, honestly, it's a tall can. It's a tall boy hanging off this dude's
Kielbasa?
body. Yeah. No, dude, no. Kielbasa? What is he? Some shrimp thing? No. Let me tell you something.
You put that down?
Sick. It's sick. All right.
You look weirdly excied though.
Well, I get a kick out of the stuff. So Jason,
Sick. It's sick.
It's sick.
Like Kingpin, she's like in the rear view mirror, dude.
Yeah.
Just savagely.
Dude,
So what happened though?
you were just funning with me. All right, so she announces that she's doing with her first partner, and people are like, "Whoa, like what does he have to say?" You know,
Right.
And it's just so obvious that the guy's a cuck, but he plays that he's not,
Right.
And it's like I don't know, I don't understand why people are surprised when like a well-known figure has a fetish like that.
I think most people have fetishes.
Absolutely,
In general.
but it's like that one's pretty extreme. You know what I mean? Like, there's role playing, and then there's letting a bunch of dudes bang out your wife. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah. So he gets on and he asks his boys.
Those are the two options.
Well, I think he likes the humiliation. Like he gets on and he asks his friends, and dude, these are all hardcore rap dudes and those dudes in the community. Gangster Mac
Right.
was there and stuff like that.
Well, high-powered people are usually the ones that want to be dominated.
Yeah. Do you think it's almost like a thing like they're so
I think that the repression
Empower.
that they face in
Yeah.
their day-to-day activities turns into a perversion.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
And they're almost like
School teachers
lash
are like
me.
that too.
Yeah. Like because they're in control.
Well, they have to walk in and be like, "Oh, I miss this, whatever." You know what I mean? Like all day long, you're just staunch.
Yeah.
And then when you get off, you're like, just fucking rail me.
Yeah,
Piss
well,
on my face. All that.
You get this respect from the kids, and they all got to beg for your mercy. And then you go to the
For your
grocery store.
mercy?
You go to the grocery store, and you're like, "Do you have any of those Jenny-O turkeys in the back?" Like, no, bitch.
Like women want to feel sexy and appreciated too, and in a business world, they're being treated like dudes all day, so they want that energy on the back end. And like I said, it gets pent up.
Yeah. But they also wanted the workforce, right? Like I'm not crazy, right?
But
Right?
you want what you want until you get it and experience it.
course.
You don't know what it's actually going to feel like or be like until you're there.
Yeah,
Like, you know, your imagination is not the same as reality.
Yeah.
But
So
what happened though?
Well, let me tell you about the birds and the bees. No, this dude cream pied her, railed her. I absolutely went to town.
But the
on
whole
her.
time he's just making eye contact with the husband.
He
won't stop. He's just gridlocked.
He's just mouthing the words. He's like Adam. You know what I mean?
Oh my God.
Well, so he does this, and then I mean he goes around and he goes on this tour of hey man, like, you know, it's okay and stuff like that. And he says people are like, well, why'd you do it? His podcast is bringing in $2 million a month. Now, even with paying your employees,
right,
that's still a fat chunk of change at the end of the year.
Dude, even if you only kept $100,000 a month,
boom, you're a millionaire.
Dude, that's more money than you can ever possibly even spend.
Beautiful.
Like, what do you
Thank
need?
you. Exactly.
Dude, if I had 10 grand a month, I could live a super good
Oh,
life.
beautiful. Yeah, easy,
Yeah.
easy peasy. That's
And that's
almost
only 120 grand a year.
That's basically 2 good incomes and 1 shitty income. Like,
100%.
you know what I mean? Like all going to the same house for one person.
Yes.
And by the way, Lana does Lana the Plug. That's her.
Plug.
By the way, Jason Love was the porn star. She makes a ton of money on her podcast too. I think she makes that for Plug Talk. I think they're bringing in like 300,000. Like basically, they struck gold. They made it. So
Right.
him doing this, and especially in such a public forum, because they're claiming, oh, we did it because we knew people would buy it. We knew people wanted this money. We knew this, that, and the other thing. And it's like, listen, dude.
So they thought it was like a good
Now,
marketing
you
strategy.
You bought yourself a mandingo.
Yeah.
and now you're having fun with it. She got to have her fun, and now he gets to have his fun with being the poor guy. You know,
right.
He's not some poor guy, dude. He gets off on it. Like I'm not looking at him like damn,
that's
dude,
literally the life he chose.
That's what he loves. It's just what he loves. And not only that, dude. I mean, this dude's got it going on.
Unlike Will Smith, who's an actual cunt.
Yeah, dude.
Dude, he embarrasses me, man.
Here's the thing, man. You know when you're not in on it. If you're in on it, it's okay.
Yeah.
If you're not in it, like him,
he's
that's
pretending to accept it. That's all he's doing. It's weird.
Well, you know what I think. I've heard that those two have an open relationship too, but all that means is she hooked up with that one kid, and Will is constantly passing out NDAs to groupies and just nailing. Because dude, it's Will.
He's just in the bathroom in his mansion. He's like, "This is my rifle. There are many like it, but this one is mine."
He's just kind of like pulling like a half,
she's like, "Are you okay, honey?" He's like, "Just a second."
Yeah.
His voice changed. Mr. Gilmore.
Yeah. Mr. Gilmore. He's doing that all week. That's too funny.
I can't stop, dude.
But anyways, so whatever you guys think, man, I think that it wasn't because he needed money. It's literally for their own little perverse thing. They wanted to do it. Then it's because after was
they probably get off on publicizing it
they
too.
love it, dude. After was just this tour of them explaining and him like kind of like putting his head kind of down and like, no man, like it hurt for a minute, but
we shouldn't be paying any attention to them whatsoever. Like, why the fuck are we interested?
Well, he has a great show.
Yeah.
Can't you just leave it at that?
Exactly.
Can't you just leave? Like, you know what it is? I think it's almost like they're okay with this perverse stuff, and I bet his wife's like, "Hey, let's do a stunt for me next. Let's do," and you know, because he's so
well. The bar always raises the more you go, and things evolve. So like, at some point, like, what do we do? Exactly.
What's next?
How about nothing?
Yeah.
How about just let that be good enough? Let your legacy be cemented. Like Madonna should have quit 30 years ago. She would have been one of the greatest in history.
She was found
she's like an embarrassing shell. What?
She was found unresponsive.
I thought she got a really bad virus and was in the hospital, but she's recovering.
No, but maybe she just didn't talk. I mean, they probably said unresponsive, but some lackey at first probably came in and was like, D.
Well, she can't talk because her face is made out of plastic.
She's like, yeah, what is it? What do you need? I haven't put my face on yet.
It's like it's like Darth Vader's helmet when he walks into the room and it's just like the backwards shot. You just see it just floating on like a Lego hairpiece.
She just like takes a piece of her hair, goes like this, and then she's out. She's out for the day.
Speaking of robots, 2 human robots are going to be fighting in the UFC. Do you want to set this up?
One cyborg and one
Android,
robot. Like one,
androids and cyborgs.
One's like what are the two phones?
It's like the battle for
Android and the Apple, right? Like it's literally like that.
You know how they name fights like the Thriller in Manila, yada yada. What do you think this one should be called?
The Nerd and the Turd.
It has to be something with that laugh you did at the end. You just made yourself chuckle.
Hey, the sadistic versus the autistic.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh
my god!
Thank you.
Zing.
A zing. So all right. So what he's getting at is Mark Zuckerberg will be facing Elon Musk in the ring.
Can I make a point real fast?
Absolutely.
So everyone, I see all like the little polls they do on YouTube channels, like who do you think is going to win? So it's always like 79% Elon Musk. This is a classic case of betting with your heart and not with your brain.
Yes.
So
let's put money on it.
Yes. You want to?
Let's join forces, get as much money as we raise.
I don't know what Elon Musk is into. He's never promoted doing combat sports, but we do know that Mark Zuckerberg is a purple belt in jiu-jitsu and just won a competition.
Yes, he's a monster.
So we love fight talk in general. We always talk about trained versus untrained. If this is that situation, he doesn't stand not a snowball's chance in hell, bro. No. Nothing.
I was literally watching a video before this was even publicized. I was watching a video with him training with Stylebender and Alex Volkanovski. And listen, obviously those guys are literally the height of whatever. It is. They're the best of the best, right?
There's levels.
But he was like kind of like not keeping up because they murdered him, but he was doing what they were doing.
Like he looked like he had skills.
He was okay to go in there and roll and do a simple exercise with those guys where 99% of you can't. So that's all there's to it. Musk is going to get murdered. I am putting my money on it. Would I like to see Mark Zuckerberg dead in the street? Sure, who wouldn't? But I am putting my money on that fool. There's not even a question.
What if like instead like Elon taps out, but Mark doesn't let him go and he just chokes him to death in front of the entire world?
You know how Elon Musk is built? He's built like those guys you were talking about.
He's actually a pretty big guy, though, like tall wise. I think he's big frame guy, right? Yeah, he's a relatively big dude. I don't know what Mark Zuckerberg is like, though.
But the whole point of Gracie Doe was that the bigger guy doesn't have the advantage. Because once you're rolling around on the fucking ground, suddenly it doesn't mean anymore.
Yeah, especially with jiu-jitsu.
They get tired out. You know what I mean? Like, it was literally like a cheat code for, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the dudes that weren't given that crazy height and size,
right.
You know?
Well, it's more an understanding of leverage than it is actual physical strength.
Yeah.
So
and
like judo, same way.
They tell you, the first thing they tell you in jiu-jitsu is to relax. You're just rolling and putting this way, and you're not like forcibly, you know. It's just how
you want to be fluid.
You move his arm.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
And you want to be flexible too.
Frank Mir taught me. Listen, I don't know shit about jiu-jitsu, but I did a couple classes.
Actual Frank Mir.
I was training for a second.
I thought you were setting up for a joke.
I was training for a second. I've always ever been a white belt. I'm not telling you I'm training or anything like that. But I was at Drysdale, and the coach Greg liked me. He trained my daughter. He was great, and I wound up taking his adult class. I was honestly at my fattest at this point. It was rough. It was rough. But Frank Mir comes over and he goes, "Come here, big guy." And that's
Is that how he talks to you?
When a heavyweight tells you big guy.
He pats you on the head.
I was like, right there, Frank. I just sucked. So he comes over and he puts me in a key lock, and then he puts his shoulder or his elbow on my neck, and I instantly died. Like, listen,
Really?
I literally instantly died. And he told me, he goes, "Listen," he goes, "right here, it's your
the carotid artery."
The carotid artery.
My buddy did a blood choke on me once. I'll tell you about that. Go ahead. Same thing though.
And Frank Mir's advice to me, he says, "Listen, man," he's like, I usually try to set up one and go for the other. He's like, just to change it up. He's like, "This is the thing, man." He's like, "I could get you in this key lock." He's like, and you're probably gonna tap. He's like, "But I got a good." He's like, "You also have the chance to get out." He's like, "Am I gonna go for a bad cold?" He's like, "Or am I gonna go for that stage 4 pancreatic?"
Interesting. Jesus.
Yeah.
Wow,
Tell
that's
me
how
that
he
man's not a
thinks.
killer.
That's
Yeah.
how he thinks.
Tell me that man's not a killer.
That's
dude.
horrifying.
Dude, that
You're
was
like pancreatic.
Yeah.
All day. Obviously.
well, you don't want to sneeze everywhere.
You don't want
What if I was
to
an
live.
idiot?
Yeah.
What if I was an idiot? You don't want to sneeze, right? Like tissues? No, but that was like one of those things. Like, I had a couple fighters. I met a handful of celebrities in my life, and for some reason, fighters were always the best guys. Floyd Mayweather. I asked him if I could shake his hand, right? He's alone, by the way. He grabs my hand and goes, "Hell yeah, you can."
No
and he
shit,
starts
that's cool,
asking
man.
about my night. I was working
Really?
graveyard at Smith's, and I'm like, by the way, remember you told me we get off track?
Yeah.
It started off as Musk. He grabs my hand and he goes, "How's your night going, man?" And he's like, ask me a question, and I'm like, "Oh, so you're a great guy, but you know how to sell fights,
Right?
Beautiful. Okay,
That's awesome,
gotcha,
dude.
thank you."
Floyd Mayweather gets a bad rap. I actually like the guy.
Yeah, he's the great.
He's a tremendous champion. He's a true legend. For all else being equal, like, you got to give him his respect. Like,
I know
he overcame a lot.
I know this is a really casual thing to say, and I know you love Roy Jones Jr. and
Best
I know,
of all time.
I know you got
The
an intelligence
best
with boxing,
of all
work,
time.
but I'm telling you, I say in my mind, I say great. Floyd Mayweather is the greatest boxer that ever lived.
It's subjective.
Yeah,
You're allowed.
Yeah, well, it's one.
I'll
of those,
allow it.
It's like I'm running off.
Would you
the
say that to
numbers
Roy
thing.
Jones Jr.'s face?
He'd kill me. I would get up. I go,
He'd
"Hey,
kill
Roy, what
me.
the fuck you about?" I do my high voice. I go, "What the fuck you about to do?"
You're just asleep before you even finish the
No,
sentence.
yeah, that's how it go. It would murder
But,
me.
real quick, back to the blood choke thing. My buddy Desi, this is way back in the day, he was good at jiu-jitsu, and I didn't know anything about it.
Yeah.
So I was like, "How fast do you pass out?" And he goes, "Well, I'm going to put you in a lock." And he's like, "I'm not going to drop you." He goes, "But as soon as I squeeze," he's like, "you're going to start to black out." And I'm like, "No way, I'll be able to resist this." So he puts me in the lock. He leans against the wall. He barely squeezes, and I literally just started blacking out instantaneously. So that's why it's like, if your chin's not tucked, or if I get that lock
you're
in,
done.
it is over.
It's literally cutting off any and all oxygen
But
to your
I
brain.
thought there was like
Thank you.
residual blood, like kind of circulating. No,
Yeah.
once that gets cut off, it's a light
The
switch.
reserve is empty.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, exactly,
Yeah, you're just
man.
gone.
That's why, I mean, like, these guys train their entire lives, and when they get that real rear naked chokehold in, that's why it's like a good 4 seconds, and that, you know, they've been training their whole life, and that's it. Goodbye, thank you so much. Yeah, it's crazy, man.
So
It's
we
a
got
trip.
Mark Zuckerberg. I'm gonna bet on him.
No, we're gonna bet on him. Let's go in together.
Yeah,
Is it
let's do that.
even though it's like, I'm sure they're gonna have him as the favorite because those bookies don't fuck around.
No, the bookies will have it right.
Yeah.
Oh, you're saying that they'll have Zuckerberg as the favorite?
Yes.
Yes, correct.
No,
that's right.
Sucks.
The bookies don't care about heart, dude.
Yeah,
they just care
no,
about
not
money,
at all.
and they're really good at handicapping.
But I've seen sometimes where they'll
They
have
get
a
it wrong.
favorite. Yeah, they've gotten it wrong.
Every time
Yeah.
I bet, it's like I only bet boxing because I deeply understand the sport.
Yeah.
And I understand when they got it wrong and why, but it is rare. But I look for those situations.
Yeah.
Like I told you, like a few years back, it was Deontay Wilder versus Dominic Breazeale. And they had a first, second, and third round was like plus 2,000, plus 1,500, plus 2,500, et cetera, to knock him out in the first 3 rounds. And I watched both of them fight, and I'm like, it's a 100% chance he's going to get knocked out. So they got that one wrong. We made a shit ton of money. I told all my friends in the casino to bet on that, man. He slept him in the first round with 1 shot.
No.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And it was a shot heard round the world, man. It was crazy.
Somebody ran up to me and goes, Holly home, Holly home, Holly home.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like,
I was the only one that picked her to beat Ronda Rousey.
dude, if you knew it, then you knew that she was a one-trick pony, and anybody that got
She
in
was
there
one-dimensional.
even with the slightest bit of boxing and Muay Thai,
Dude,
they're gonna
all
they're gonna
Ronda
kill her.
Rousey would do is just bulldoze in a straight line. She uses no lateral movement, no angle. She doesn't come in behind a jab. She bulldozes in.
Yeah.
She does a hip toss to an arm bar, and that's her whole game. And I knew that Holly Holm was a boxer before, so I know
Yes.
she's gonna cut angles and piece her up on the way in. So that's what she did all night. She would piece her up and then move out
back
laterally.
out, come on,
'Cause
thank
what
you.
happens is, like, when someone's chasing you and you're moving straight back, they can move faster forwards than you can moving straight back. But if you go lateral, they have to change positions and cut an angle, which buys you time.
And those few extra,
those seconds are
milliseconds
everything.
that you're turning.
It might as
is
well
just
be
getting picked
10,000
off.
years.
Yeah,
That's- if you're
absolutely.
good with it.
Not only that, our boy John Jones trained her for that fight.
Really?
Dude, listen, that is the man behind
He's the
knocking
greatest
off,
fighter of all
God,
time,
he's
in
so
my opinion.
amazing,
I
man.
love that guy.
And she's the female him. She's tall, very muscular,
Long.
very dude. And
she's
killed
crisp.
her.
She's sharp.
You know what's funny though? She you hate to see it because I do respect Ronda Rousey for what she did. All right, she
dislike her.
built that division. Listen, she's a cunt, but she built that division. She did. She built the women's division. She did. She built that.
I
would give
get
to
that.
her. But
well, her marketing team built it.
but like it just sucks. Like when somebody takes such an epic loss, that they never are the same.
Dude, it changed her.
Yeah.
I heard she's trying to come back.
She is. She was. Dude, her face is. I saw a picture.
Ronda, don't do it.
Don't do it.
Stay in the WWE or whatever it is you're doing now.
Dude,
Don't. It never works.
You're making a good pretty penny over there. You might as well just stick around. You're not going to get hurt. Honestly, man, I would literally fear for her at this
It's
point.
going to be
You're
embarrassing.
gonna and
It's
by the
gonna be
way,
embarrassing.
these girls are 10 times better they are now than when you left.
And on top of the evolution of the sport, which is a big deal, by the way.
Absolutely.
Also, you're way out of your prime, and you've already locked in your fighting style from years and years of training that way. To reinvent yourself as a fighter when you're hardwired to fight a certain way out of your prime, it's impossible.
Dude,
you're not going to be able to do it.
I always think of that. I think
Good luck, though.
Yeah.
Best of luck.
Aside from fighting, I always thought about like the evolution of sports and like how far it's come, stuff like that. And then the people, they talk about the great stuff like that. If you put Earl Monroe and like the Knickerbockers or whatever the hell they were in the 70s, like if you put Earl Monroe and the Knickerbockers and you go against right now, like or even when they were real good, like with the Fab Three and all that,
right.
You put them against guys, they're going to win like 190-0. I don't care what anybody says, dude. It used to be you run up to the paint, you do a quick layup, you go back the other way.
They'll be leaping over you with nuts dragging across your forehead, dude.
Just LeBron's penis rubbed against your face while
he's just like just looking down on you,
and you're like, and one of them go, "Hey, why did he get 3 points for that?" And like, look where he
Two
jumped.
for the nuts.
No, he jumped from the 3-point line.
He's doing the NBA Jam boom shakalaka.
He's spinning. You hear some man. He's like, "You're on fire."
He's heating up.
Yeah, he's heating up. Oh, dude, that is so fucking funny, man.
So Mark Zuckerberg all day. What's on the next part of the docket?
Listen,
sorry, we got to move through, guys.
Nah, man, we can
do this for hours.
The
And
trail never ends.
We've been dying to shoot too. If I had the day off, we'd do like a 4-hour episode, man.
I think we should bring our newest member in.
You want to do it?
Yeah, I think we should do that.
Okay.
I'm gonna hit 15 minutes with him, and then we'll come back, close out with the video. We'll get an hour.
No problem.
Bam.
That's perfect.
Okay. All right, so this is our new guy, man. We knew he had the chops. We knew we knew instantly. He right when we were talking about film and comedies and stuff like that, he was just on board and he was like going back and forth. So we knew it. This is Pisani. Pisani, how are you, man?
Hey,
Bam,
Billy. How's
brother.
it going?
Set up.
Yeah.
He's just asking you questions while you're sitting.
So tell me about yourself. The chair's empty.
Hey, how's it going there, Billy?
Come on, man.
Thanks for
Damn.
having me on.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
We
Hey.
work together, so we talk about like the craziest shit all day, basically, right? Like,
Yeah,
that's why
it's
we
stream
go
of
back and
consciousness.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
whatever comes to mind.
Yeah. And man, like what always hits it off for me, like when I meet somebody, movies are important.
Yeah.
Movies are important.
Yeah.
And when I was going back and forth, I'm like, yeah, he knows what's up. You know what I mean? We were talking about the Big Lebowski. We were, dude, do it. No, do the German. Do the German.
We believe in nothing, Lebowski. Nothing.
Louis doesn't care. He's a nihilist. Sounds exhausting. Oh, it's too funny, man. Right on.
Nobody fucks with a Jesus.
All right, man. Now I heard somebody call you Michael before, but you're Pisani, and
Correct.
And how come? Because you were building that name, right?
Yeah, so legally,
Yes.
my first name is Michael.
Okay.
However, I feel that there's way too many Michaels in the world, so we could do without one more.
Yeah.
So just you can call me Pisani.
Pisani's unique.
It is.
It is. And
It is.
there's a catchy ring to it. There's definitely a catchy ring to it.
There's a little bit of a story too. You know, the idea was that people in Italy were named after the city that they were born in. So that's where we get Florentines and Romans.
Corleone. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So people from the town of Pisa were named Pisans, and then the name kind of evolved from that. And that's a neat little story that we get to tell.
And it's you're from the Leaning Tower pizza place or Pisa? That's it, right?
It's not the Leaning Tower of Pizza, but yes.
Yeah, I did.
Leaning Tower of Pisa.
In America, it's the Leaning Tower of Pisa. To every idiot kid that grew up in the 90s where we heard it, it was that. And you've seen it? You've been to Italy and all that?
Oh, yeah.
Question.
Yeah.
Like, is it really like off balance? Like, does that fucker look like it's about to tumble over?
Yeah.
Is it going to tumble over?
They actually had to do some work to prevent it from tumbling over.
But they kept it, like, you know what I mean?
So you got to understand the base of the Leaning Tower is sort of like a marsh.
Yeah.
It's not
So it's
stable
sunk
land.
in?
So when
Yeah.
after they built it, it kind of sunk in and tilted and just kind of stayed that way ever since.
Dude, could you imagine being, and what was that, like 17th century, something like that? Like, it's an old, right? Could you imagine being in the 17th century and like, you're looking out the window, you're doing, I don't know, I'm holding a big AK-47. I doubt they had those in the 17th century. You're holding like your sword
It's
and
like a
stuff.
telescope, maybe.
Yeah,
'cause if
exactly.
You're on the top
right?
there, you're going to do some...
You know, and you look to the left and like you see the sky like moving like this and you're like, what the fuck is that? You know what I mean?
Oh, if you're on it as
Dude,
it's
that thing is terrifying, dude. Could you imagine? Like, literally, dude, I'm sorry, but like the World Trade Center people are the only other ones that know that feeling.
of impending doom. Well, onto some lighter fare.
Yeah.
We've been really heavy this whole podcast.
Sorry. I'm sorry. Okay. No, but hold on. You were telling me about the namesake. Let me hear it, man.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I mean, the story I just told was one story. My cousin says that that's not true for our name. However, I do know that because the name ends in I, it's an unusual vowel sound for most Italian names.
Pisani.
Pisani.
Yeah.
So that denotes that somewhere along the line, we were descendants of the Etruscans, which were the original rulers of Tuscany before like the Roman civilization came out.
Love your bread.
Yeah. So
Right?
they ruled all of Tuscany, and people thought they were really advanced. Well, they were really advanced, but they thought they were aliens because of it, you know, because they had technologies and things like that. And then they all mysteriously disappeared one day.
Are you serious?
Yeah. But you can see like,
Maybe they were aliens.
yeah, in like museums,
Right?
sometimes they'll have Etruscan art and they'll have, you know, like they have airplanes, like people in like airplanes that are made out of gold and like different things. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Dude, that's weird, right?
I mean, it's weird to think that something that advanced existed back then.
I mean, somebody's in a golden airplane and you're looking at it by like markings on some wall that was forgotten about for the last 3,000 years.
Yeah.
That's a trip, dude.
Yeah.
That is something, man. You know what I mean? You've been all over Europe?
Yeah. So actually, right before I moved to Las Vegas, I took 2 months off, and my parents are both retired. They're living in Italy right now. So I had 2 months over there over the summer to just hang out and, you know.
Question.
Regroup. Yeah.
All right. Can we do a road show?
Eventually.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'm down.
Weren't we talking about that? Right?
If we get enough money, all we need is just the ticket over there.
That's
my
what I'm
parents have
saying.
the house.
Let's do it. I say we do it. Yeah.
We did, last time I was there, we did Rome. Me and my dad went down to Rome.
You took the channel?
What tunnel?
The tunnel, the high-speed train. I heard it takes you to Paris.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
The high-speed train, for sure. Yeah. They call it the Ferro Rosa.
Again, another American thing. We call it the
fast train.
We call it the fast train. Just the most idiotic. We just say two words, throw them together, and move on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Man.
So me and my dad went down to Rome, and then me and my mom went up to Spain because I had a friend who's living up in Valencia.
Okay.
We went to go visit her. But yeah, I've been up to Venice. I've been up in the Alps, pretty much. We went down to Sardinia in the south, Naples. Yeah, we've been pretty much all over. It's crazy. A lot of history.
You're a culture motherfucker, man. Come on now.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Dude,
that must feel good. Like, just let me ask you a question.
Sure.
I've been planning. We never traveled. I don't even remember going to Disneyland. We never traveled. I want to travel, and my goal is to be a different person when I come back and I see, the difference in cultures and stuff. I want to be a different human being when I get back.
You will.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
It's hard not to be.
Just seeing, I only know how Americans do things, stuff like that. And I've been told we're the greatest country on earth. But which is, listen, we're the leader of the free world, but whatever.
Yeah.
Anyways, a question though, like, what is it like? Did you see like little towns that just had nothing to them and stuff like that? Did you see a lot of that?
Yeah, I mean, where my family lives, it's the nearest biggest city is Lucca, which is the walled city, and then the nearest biggest city from that is Pisa. So pretty much everywhere where my family lives is all rural countryside. Yeah. It's Italian countryside. You go out and there's fields and there's chickens and all sorts of stuff. And what was great about being there over the summer is they have something called sagras.
Yeah.
And what sagras are essentially, they're just big parties. So every town will have their own sagra, and it'll be like specific to the town. So there's a soup sagra, there's a besteak sagra, which is steaks and things like that.
That is
and it's
amazing.
Just a big party.
That'd be so fun.
Yeah, you go in and you pay, you order, and then you sit down, and then all the little kids of the town serve you. Like they run up and they got you give them your ticket, and then they run up and they get the tray, and they give you a setup, and then they come with the food, and you can tip them if you want. And
I'd grab one and I go, "Hey, Fabrizio, go get me another bread."
Yeah. Yeah.
It'd be real mean and American.
And there's always
just super obnoxious.
There's always usually a band, and then they have games.
How's
and
the wine?
Dancing.
Is it just like
never
unreal?
Stops flowing?
Yeah,
never stops flowing. Yeah, yeah.
It's all red, right?
Majority of the wine you'll find is red, but they have it all.
Yeah.
There's a place near my parents' house. It's called the Schifo, and what that is it's essentially, you can go there with any type of container and fill it up with wine, and then they'll just charge you however much liters the container is.
So I could bring him like one of those toy, the toys that the kids, the plastic things, just fill that baby up with wine. And
you could go with a keg.
Oh my God.
I mean, you could go with like an orange juice container.
That would make a little bit more sense. Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen people go with orange juice containers and fill it up with wine, those plastic ones, and then they bring them home. Yeah.
Oh,
and it's
dude,
and it's pure wine.
Dope,
and it's just,
man. What an amazing country, man. You know what I mean? Like that's the type of stuff that you see, and like you kind of like see all like the gadgets you got and your bills and your, you know what I mean? And you kind of like puts things in perspective, you know what I mean? Like don't get me wrong. Listen, it's fun to visit there. I'd rather be in like, in the actual big city and moving and seeing things, stuff like that. But to get away and see that stuff, like, you know what I mean? Like that'd be pretty amazing, man.
Yeah. I mean, from my point of view, it felt like time was moving slower.
Yeah.
There wasn't this, like in America, I feel we have this big rush to be
nowhere.
Yeah. We're in a hurry to go nowhere. Exactly. Yeah. That was my exact point, because you're either in a rush to get to your job, and then you're in a rush to get to lunch, and then you're in a rush to get home, and you're never actually anywhere in America.
I was literally going to Walmart, and I was on the overpass on Ann. Mm-hmm. And this person like kind of like didn't see that it turned green, And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? And dude, like just thinking of that, I was going to Walmart. Dude, like I could have simply drove around.
Well, dude.
Yeah, you're right, dude. You're right. You don't notice, dude. That, you kind of like just go. Everything's go. Yeah.
Well, by contrast, though, in Italy on the roads, you better be going, because especially on the autostradas, if you don't go fast enough, those Italians will come right on your ass, and then they'll start flashing their headlights and stuff. It's crazy.
Question though, isn't the speed limit like 80? Right?
Most places, the autostradas, because they're just pure roads, but like most of the time, I think the you got to go like 45 around like towns and things like that.
Is the Italian talk? Is it exactly what they say it is? I mean, is this an American myth, or is everybody like, you know what I mean? Like, is that kind of how the language sounds?
Well, okay, so in Italian, you pronounce every vowel. Right?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of like O's and A's, and I could see how, from an outsider's perspective, it does sound a lot of like, right. But for me, I mean, growing up with it,
you didn't even notice it.
I didn't even notice it.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. But there are certain words that I really like in Italian. For example, they use this word allora, which is sort of just like, so it's
like, it's kind of like, it is what it is. Everybody says that now. Is that kind of what that is?
Well, it's sort of like, let's say I'm talking about something with you, and then I want to move on to a new topic. I'd finish that, and we go, allora, and then start the new topic, right? So it's sort of like
everybody would literally be saying that to me. Allora.
Allora. Or it's like a then,
They just close my lips. It's like, allora. No, that's nuts, man. And how'd you wind up getting to Hollywood, man? He went for it.
Yeah.
He went for the dream, right?
I did.
You had
twice, actually.
Typical move to Hollywood. Like, you were a server out there, you know what I mean? Did you meet? All right, question.
Sure.
Did you meet agents and like stars and all that in the restaurants?
Yeah.
Dude, that's nuts.
Yeah.
You're and by the way, he's a really good server. We kind of like picked that up like immediately.
Yeah.
And I think that's like where you get into it, right?
So one of my favorite stories, this wasn't serving, but this was one of my first jobs in Los Angeles. It was at this bowling alley in Burbank.
Yeah.
And we were the only bowling alley in the valley, so pretty much everybody went there.
Yeah.
And one time, Martin Lawrence comes in.
Boom.
Right? And I knew exactly who it was, obviously. But unfortunately, we had a league coming in that took up the whole bowling alley, so we weren't able to sell him a lane. Right?
Dude, what?
So Martin Lawrence comes in.
I'm like, you can bowl on my back if you want. Like, let him in.
He's like, so I need to get a lane. And I'm like, sorry, we have this full league. He's like,
you had to tell Martin Lawrence no?
Yeah. He's like, what? You got all these lanes and nothing's open? And I'm like, yeah, sorry, but we're open tomorrow. You can come by tomorrow. He's like, what? And then he left. And then this is the best thing. He comes back in tomorrow, right? He comes in the next day. I was off, but one of the guys that does like maintenance around the property, he came down to get his lunch, and he got a soup from the snack bar.
Yeah.
And as he's like walking, with the soup, he spills it on Martin Lawrence.
Oh God.
And this guy, I forget his name. Let's just say it's Frank or something. He's like an old guy. He's like in his mid-60s. He didn't give a fuck. It was just like, meh, and like walks off. Didn't even offer to like, pay for his dry cleaning or anything like that.
Yeah.
I thought that was really hard.
Hey, he's this old white guy, and he's like, what is he, one of them rappers? Right?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be some shit?
Yeah.
Dude, what if it was like
a
really
rapper or
hot
a baseball
soup?
player?
Yeah. What if it was really hot soup? What if you like burned his arm like really
it'd been
bad?
ridiculous.
Yeah. Martin Lawrence, man.
Yeah.
Oh God, I love him too. Man.
Oh, dude.
Life is like one of my favorite movies.
Martin for me.
Yeah.
That show
so good.
Was the best.
Dude, I always remember the boxing one. I think he fought Mike Tyson or yeah, right? Mm-hmm. And he gets beat and his face came in. I remember I was laughing sorry, but he was so good, man. His stand-up is nuts too.
Yeah.
He's a talented dude, man. That's the only celebrity that came through the bowling alley though?
Oh no, there was tons.
Like people, like that was the only one in the valley. So people were heading out there.
Yeah. I mean, we had Tom Cruise was a regular. He would actually buy out the whole place,
of course,
just for him and his family to play for like an hour.
When you say his family, you mean like 900 Scientologists,
exactly?
Right? Kind of with like white shirts and black pants.
Eric Estrada was in there.
Hey,
yeah, Ponch.
Yeah, right?
He was cool because he was cool. David Koechner. I don't know if you know him, but he was in Talladega Nights. He was or actually, you'd probably know him from Anchorman. He was the sports guy.
Oh, I like that dude.
Yeah.
He was doing this.
Yeah, David's
he's funny, man.
So he comes in and he's like, all right, we're here to do some bowling.
Of course he said that. You know what I mean?
And I look at him and I go, well, you can do that here.
Yeah.
And he just slams his credit card on the desk.
And you're like, I need a signature. He's like, not now. I'm with my family.
Yeah.
You're like, for the credit card.
For the credit card, yeah.
There you go, dickhead. I left myself a tip.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Shia LaBeouf came in one time.
I love Shia LaBeouf.
He came in, he had this like big old like bushy beard.
It was around that time?
Yeah. So
okay.
It was
Maniac time?
It was Maniac time.
Yeah.
No, it was right around, I think, the second Transformers.
Oh, no, he was still good then.
Yeah, so he was still good then. And run to the busser. One of the porters at the bowling alley was like, "Oh, put on What I've Done." You know, the song from the trailer. It's like, he's not gonna care.
He doesn't care. And then you know what's gonna happen? Somebody's going, and he's gonna.
Yeah.
It's in the
Crazy.
movie. Yeah.
It's in the movie.
It's in the movie. You know what? You know why I like Shia LaBeouf? Because I did not believe for 1 second that dude was going to be talented after Even Stevens, and he proved me so wrong.
I know.
That dude came out and great movies.
Yeah.
Great movies, and he was good in them, and he gives a shit about his roles. I like him. I like him a lot.
Yeah.
Dude
He's
was
great.
awesome, man.
He's great.
He was awesome.
But yeah, Los Angeles was fun. I
What
did
about
have
crime? Now, hold on. We got to get to the nitty gritty. Was it a shithole when you were living there?
Well, okay, so
It's a shithole now.
It's a shithole now.
I just went back last year. It was horrible.
Yeah. So it's a shithole now. I was fortunate enough to stay in the better parts of Los Angeles in like Burbank.
Like you knew where to go?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah. I moved to Burbank originally, which is like a suburb.
Yeah.
You know, that's where, Warner Brothers is and all, the rich people live in Burbank. And then I moved over into Sherman Oaks, which is also another really rich neighborhood.
Yeah, yeah.
So I didn't see a lot of, although in Sherman Oaks since it's so close to Van Nuys.
Is Van Nuys a shithole?
Van Nuys that's where they shoot all the porns. Is in Van Nuys.
Yeah, that's the valley.
That's the valley.
It, yeah.
So that's the valley that you hear about.
Yeah.
In porn is Van Nuys. And
so basically, when you're driving by some like empty house, you're like, probably shooting a porno.
We're probably shooting porn in there. Yeah.
Probably shooting a porno in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's funny.
Yeah.
Man.
And then all the porn stars would live in the Archstone in Studio City.
Why? Because it's so close to like where they're at?
No, it was just a very nice apartment complex.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's where that's where I met Drake Bell, do you know, from Drake and Josh? Yeah. So Drake Bell was great because he's a huge stoner. And I've met him now 3 times and I don't think he ever remembers. Because one time we were walking through the Archstone and he's there and he's got his dog and he's walking and we're like, "Oh, Drake, hey, how's it?" Or Josh, how's it going? And he's like, "Oh, hey, I'm Josh."
Oh,
and
no.
And he like puts his hand out. I was like, "Hey, I'm Josh." And we're like, "Yeah, I know." Not only do I know you, but we've met.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should have said.
And he's got this glazed look. He's just like so high all the time. Yeah.
Is he the big one or the smaller one?
He was the bigger, fatter one that then slimmed down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Josh Bell. He
kind of has like that. Like,
yeah. He's still acting, actually.
Yeah.
He's on a new show.
Did you ever see Mean River with him?
No, I didn't.
It's a fucking good movie.
All right.
But the smaller one groomed some chick.
Yep. Yeah. So he got in trouble for texting.
You didn't meet him then, though, right?
I didn't meet. Well, no, but actually, I did sort of because
he was
I did
in the room.
No. I worked on a Drake and Josh TV movie.
Oh, boom!
Yeah, so I worked on a Drake and Josh TV movie where I did background, and they were both on set. I didn't meet Drake, but he was there. So actually, now I thought about it. Yeah, I kind of met both of them, but for sure, Josh.
Did you look at like 4 12-year-old girls and go, "I'd get out of here if I was you"? And then like start setting up the lights.
This is years before all
I
that.
know,
This is years before all that. But yeah. I mean,
I don't know why I could call these things. That guy's gonna be a pederast when he gets older.
My thing is like, why do it over text message where it's recorded? You know,
man. I think these stars, when they think that they could, I'm telling you, they get told yes especially the child ones. They get told yes so
all the
much
time. All
that
the time.
like they're like, what do you mean? It's just murder. You know what I mean? Like I don't think they know. Like Danny Bonaducci, he's like a real one, dude. Like he's the only one that like was like he's like I feel like dude. Although he went through all his crazy stuff, I feel like he's like on the level. He's a cool guy. You know what I mean?
He made it out.
Yeah, he made it out.
Yeah.
And a lot of them don't, man. Like the Coreys. Dude, I've never seen a more broken person in my life than Corey Feldman, honestly.
yeah.
And I remember that dude was a rock star when I was a kid, dude. I'm talking Lost Boys.
Yeah, Goonies,
The Burbs. He was a rock star, dude. You know what I mean? Also, Lean on Me, which is like a really good one too. Yeah. 7 Cents Burn. It's one of my favorite movies. But yeah, man, it was a trip, dude. But yeah, I'll tell you what, man, we're going to be shooting skits. Pisani writes too. So we're going to be doing a lot of stuff. So like keep that in there. We're like, we're building the family here. And I think that I'm being real, man. We brought people on before. We did this. I got a good feeling about you.
Well,
I think you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
You have good like chemistry. You charisma. You could talk. Like, did you have to tell him to pull up the microphone once?
Nope.
Come on, man.
There it
on
is.
that shit. Right on. Right on.
That's the number one problem.
Well, he's a he like focuses on that stuff.
Yeah.
And for everybody's like, it's right. How many times?
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah.
And they like move the windscreen. Oh my God. Remember True Romance when he's like, who is he, dick? And he's like, you want me to suck his dick? Oh my goodness, man. But that's it, man. Right on. Right, we're doing this, baby.
Yeah, man. Thanks. I'm super stoked to be a part of this and can't wait to see what we build and get going.
You know what? Like, that's like, now that we are working and we have like, able to like put things into it, hardware and skits and kind of extending the show. Like we want to build this like a network, right? Like we want to build this into like something. Yeah, exactly.
You come here for content.
And we have content. And we have content. Listen, you could call me a cunt.
No, I can't. No, I can't.
Or, yeah, oh, that's good, man. That's good.
All right, Billy. Well, thanks for having me on, man. I really appreciate it.
Murdered it,
guys.
man.
I'll see you next time. All right. Take care.
We get the L-shaped table. We're gonna have all three of us here too. So right now we have to transition, man. Right on. We got a good one for you guys today for the outro as well.
Hey guys. Hey there. I'm like, you gotta work the balls. I should get a set of nuts on the bottom of it.
Like the truck, the trucks with the balls at them. You can order that. That'd be sick too.
Right. So for the outro video, we have a very special one that Billy made me aware of. You want to set it up real fast?
Okay, so this is like in the dark corners of YouTube. Like, all right, I was watching. I was trying to find footage of Eric Stoltz in Back to the Future because he shot a large portion of that movie and then they just canned it. And Pisani was even telling me like there's a scene where when he's being pushed in the diner, it's Eric Stoltz. It's actually
like his shoulder, right?
Exactly. Like they left him in there because it was a better shot of it. So they're like, just use him.
Good enough.
Wouldn't that be like horrible? Imagine you watching it like that's my.
I wonder if
shoulder.
they paid him for the shoulder scene.
No,
he got like 20 cents in royalties.
I wonder what kind of contractual obligations though. Like you get everybody on board. Like they had to pay him. They had to.
Oh no, they had to pay him something. I'm sure. I'm sure he got paid even for all the work he did. Even though he wasn't. Yeah.
Like Brad Pitt has a clause where like no matter he works 1 day or 1 year, he gets this amount. It doesn't matter. They mess up. They do it. He's getting that money. Yeah, hell yeah. I think obviously you can start like kind of naming your own price when you get to that.
There's
level.
no doubt. Yeah, there's no doubt. So in this clip, this was done during the good old days where you were allowed to have fun and not worry about everything. Yeah. And it is absolutely glorious. You want to give it a set real fast?
Absolutely. So, all right. So they were working in a school and I guess somebody came across the hairnet. So Michael J. Fox puts on the hairnet. Now this is
lights up a cigarette, dude.
This is the late 80s when like Chicano gangs were getting like huge and like you remember with the hairnets and the white beaters and stuff. So he kind of like dressed up like a cholo and they decided to shoot a scene where Doc Brown, Christopher Lloyd was dressed up like a cholo too.
It's money.
And I'm telling you this right now, man,
it's
like
money.
You could just tell they were having so much fun on this. Was it who did Back to the Future? Spielberg,
right?
He produced it. Robert Zemeckis directed
Robert
Bob
Zemeckis.
Zemeckis, yeah. Man. Okay, so you could just tell they were having such a good time on this, man. Like you could hear the crew laughing in the background.
Watch for the nuance. The two best things to me that stand out is like when he goes to like enter the bit, if you will.
Yeah.
He walks past Christopher Lloyd and then he's like, and then just pops into it.
Yeah.
But then like
Yeah.
he goes to start laughing. So instead of laughing at Christopher Lloyd, he takes a drag of his cigarette and he's just cheesing ear to ear. They were having a great time. So it's fucked up. It's good. It's good.
Christopher Lloyd gurgles his water in an attempt to be more Chicano. He's like, oh, it's so funny.
Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd as Cholos.
Yes, so good.
Do enjoy.
Inserted into Back to the Future.
That's going to be hilarious. I still messed it up. All right, cool. Here we go. Already just the way he walks out.
Look at Christopher Lloyd, too, with his shoes. He's
I
so
love
sick.
Christopher Lloyd. It's Rick and Morty, dude.
Yeah.
Here we go. He like slides in.
Sick.
¡Eh, puto!
Hey, puto. Look at him cheesing.
This is, man, there's a bitch! Shit, man! Son of a bitch, she cheating, man! Hey, bitch! Sorry. No homeboy for her tonight,
Dude, the
man.
hairnet sells it all.
Dude, he was so good.
Oh my
the bitch
God.
is cheating, man. That was so good.
But yeah,
though,
you
man.
couldn't make that anymore. But I just think that's like a hidden gem.
May I see your invitation,
a little
please?
piece of like just thing that they put together.
Here's
you know
my
what I mean?
invitation.
It probably to the internet, you know what I mean? I've never seen no footage like that in my
Never.
entire life,
Never.
dude.
Bullshit.
No way.
It was amazing.
Hey,
I've
man,
watched that.
this bitch is
I've watched
cheating,
that clip
man.
like 30 times since you've shown
Oh,
me.
yeah.
And it's like
So
less than a
fun.
minute long, and it's one of the greatest things I've ever witnessed.
Dude, Michael J. Fox, man, I mean,
I loved him, dude.
yeah.
It was so
Hand.
sad when he got sick. Because he was a great actor. He had a lot of charm, charisma. He's
Give us the girl.
He's
We'll
cool.
take her.
if he was actually in a gang, his gang name would be
Into the boat.
Oh my God, that was low-hanging fruit.
Yeah.
One of us is in deep trouble.
It's the sweetest fruit you can get.
Oh my God.
It's not a tumor.
Right to the core.
Be a farmer. Here's a couple of acres.
Right to the core. Well, I'll tell you what, man, that was good. We just wanted to come back and get
Yes.
on.
So we're very happy to be back again. Sorry it had been so long in between episodes. Like I said, you can see just by looking at the background what we're dealing with. So I pulled this TV out, so we'll have that. We're going to try to mount it. We're going to try to get the quality back up to where it was. Pisani was saying we're going to build out our equipment. We're going to do sketches. There's more to come. So over the course of this year, now that we're working again, it's going to be a rapid growth pace.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sticking by us and giving us a chance. We really appreciate it. Take us out. Always remember, have your conversations, not their conversations. Talk to your friends, talk to your family, talk to your community again.
Listen to
Let's
me
be good
very
people. God
carefully.
bless. Peace.
You,
Goodbye.